everybody. Welcome to Revisiting Sunnydale. This is episode 136. And for those of you who are a patron of Revisiting Sunnydale, what you're doing is you're watching a video. Hi!
You can see my face.
Right, exactly. Hello! But if you're not, you're just listening to the audio, which is also cool because we appreciate you there as well. So, in case you don't know, I'm Kahmeela. Hello.
I'm Marcella.
And we're going to get in. Yes, this is how we look and stuff. Walking about in the world and things. And hopefully soon, Marcella and I will get back to being in person and get to see each other and actually record in the same room again soon, because I have started doing that with my other podcast, Number One Movie in America, as we record in my studio, which is a much bigger space than my home office here. And we're able to spread out a little bit more. So it's been good. And we've also been just like, it had been 2 years since we'd all seen each other in person, obviously. And it was just ridiculous, like the amount of time that episode that we gushed about just being in the same room with each other. So if you want to hear that, go listen to the Number One Movie in America. I think the episode is Saving Private Ryan, is what we were talking about for the first time back in person. Yeah. So, but we are Revisiting Sunnydale, and you can find us on Facebook under that same name, on Twitter at Back to Sunnydale, and on Instagram RVS_podcast. And you can find us wherever you get your podcasts, and it would be super awesome if we just ask you to go ahead and follow and rate, review, and share. Let other people know about the Buffiness that you're getting into and that we're getting into.
Yes, because as you guys are finishing up season 7, someone new has a plethora of episodes to go through, all the way back to season 1.
Exactly. And I keep randomly coming across people online that are like, I just started a Buffy rewatch. And I'm always just like, hey, now's the time. Slide right in there. It's like, you might want to listen to Revisiting
companion novel.
All right. This is what you want to do.
No, stop doing weird things. Sorry, y'all. I have a puppy.
And special guest appearance by Luna.
And she's chewing the chair leg of my
everything, just whatever. It's like, I must chew it. It's and as she goes to town on your fingers right now as well.
She's just like, better, much better.
So
if you guys remember teething, it hurts. So
yeah, I guess I never really put that 2 and 2 together, that, puppies are still doing that. And I'm so glad, like, I know that there's like they lose their baby teeth and all that stuff. I never came across any of my dog's baby teeth, thank God, because I probably would have lost my mind. Because
I haven't found any yet, and I don't think she's lost any yet. They're still coming in for the first time, so I think I'm still in for the they fall out and then come in stage, but I don't know yet.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what that's like, because it's something about, like, teeth outside of a mouth that really messes with my Let's talk about Moon Knight for a pinch.
Have you watched it?
I have watched it twice now, because I, unlike Marcella, am fully on board.
Which is usually not the case. It's usually
I know. Right. I'm usually like, I'll get to it. But you know what the difference is? Oscar Isaac. That's the big difference, because I was chomping at the bit, waiting, counting down the days. I had it in my Google Calendar, Moon Knight. Now, I did not, wake up at like 4 a.m. to watch it when it dropped, but I did, watch it the next morning, and I fucking love it. And I think that Moon Knight's costume is one of the best Marvel costumes, one of the best Marvel superhero costumes.
Who washes it? He's got to get dirt and grime and blood.
Well, see, from what I can, it seems very mystical, because it's not like, from what I can tell, from what was shown in the first episode, it's not like he goes in the closet and puts it on. Like,
it kind of appears, so it just cleans itself.
Exactly. So it's self-cleaning.
I was all about the trailer, and I reacted to the trailer. You guys can find it on my channel. And I was all hyped for it. And then the day came, and I was like, sleep.
That's what happened, because you now you've got work around it. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not just watching it just for shits and giggles. It's like, now I gotta, like, make a video about it and, tell and react to it. and edit stuff and record stuff
It's
and
the
post
editing.
stuff.
It's not the filming. It's not even the watching. It's the editing. God, the editing.
So
It
yes.
takes so long.
So yeah, once you do finally get into that, like, it's fabulous. I could probably watch it again. I guess it's only 6 episodes total
Yeah,
is
it's
what's
only
going to
6
happen,
episodes.
which I'm kind of bummed about. I feel like we deserve more. Oscar deserves more. I think
I don't know how I feel about this faux British accent he's using too.
I like it. But I'm not here to, like, I'm not here to pick apart his accent. Like, I've seen some people on Twitter, like, kind of just, like, badmouth it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. I like it. I'm fine with it. Like, give me one more reason why I want to, like, just, like, instant panty dropper. Just, like, come on, just give me one more reason to just want to just throttle Oscar Isaac. Yeah.
This is one of the things where you guys will learn certain things about Kahmeela and myself. And Oscar Isaac is absolutely one of the people that we would walk up and accidentally just lick his entire face.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
There are certain people that God knows not to put in my path because I will make a straight fool of myself and be let out in handcuffs or restraints of some sort because I don't
Lord knows how we kept it together for Jason Momoa. I don't know how we kept it together.
It all happened so fast because my husband was like 2 feet away.
For me, I was more worried about my mother.
Right.
I was, please don't embarrass. Please do not hump that man. Like, just don't.
Yeah, I highly suggest you go ahead and watch Moon Knight, everybody. And I like what they're doing with it. It's, like, really kooky. It's funny. I like the way that they're handling his transitions from his personalities and all that stuff. The only thing I'm not 100% on is the voice of the Egyptian god. F. Abraham, whatever I think it is.
F. Murray Abraham?
Yeah, F. Murray Abraham is doing it. But it reminds me of the voice of the Beast in Cordelia's Head. Yeah. Or not in Cordelia's Head, but in Angel's Head. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. And I never jived with that either because it just doesn't sound ominous enough to me. Your voice is loud and it's deep, but it's still just like it's very theatrical.
It's kind of silly.
Yeah, it's like I feel like you're about to quote Shakespeare at me. Like, I know it's not as threatening as you want to think it is. All right, so today's episode is Season 7, Episode 10, Bring on the Night. Original air date, December 17th, 2020, or 2002.
It feels like it. Like, who knows what time is?
Written by Marty Noxon and Douglas Petrie, directed by David Grossman. Giles returns to Sunnydale with 3 potential slayers, whom Buffy must protect from the first. Meanwhile, a ferocious uber vampire is released from the Hellmouth, and Buffy must kill it before it kills one of the potentials. And we have a big list of guest stars and co-stars for this episode. Obviously, Anthony Head comes back as Giles, Christine Sutherland as Joyce, Tom Blank as Andrew, D.B. Woodside as Principal Wood, Iari Lemon as fucking Kennedy, Clara Bryant as Molly, Courtney Draper as Annabelle, Juliet Landau comes back as Drusilla, and Camden Toy as Uber Vamp.
He's so many of the. If you guys just Google Camden Toy, if you like the villain on Buffy, he was probably that villain.
Right, yeah.
I think he was Der Kinderstadt. He was one of the gentlemen. He's been a ton of different.
What I don't understand about him is, like, to look at him in real life, just like him out of character, out of costume and stuff. He looks like he's a tall man. Yes. But if he's this uber vamp, he is not a tall man.
No, he's the same size as Buffy.
Right. So it's weird, like, how things work like that. Like, I don't know, it's just something about his facial features that I guess they're elongated, and it makes me think that he's like 6'5" and just like 112 pounds or something like that. So, the gang are at the house, and Xander is very much over fixing this damn house.
He's so done. He even makes a really funny comment about how he feels like he's stuck in the mummy hand loop, like Buffy was back in season 4.
Exactly, and that's probably pretty much, that's what he is, and he's just like, how about we just board up this bitch?
Which, I mean, is a valid, because the fucking house ends up in a pit anyway. Like, the house is just actually destroyed by the time the show is over, so do not waste your time.
I know.
Just fuck it. Fuck it all.
Like, all the money that you have spent at the glass places or wherever you buy your windows, like, somebody retired off of it very well.
Yeah.
Off of the Summers house, but yeah, not Xander. So they're all just going around and trying to research the first via the internet, which, houseway.
That Mac is so fat. Like, it's skinnier than the first laptop, but it's funny how you can gauge time through the technology on Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
And she at least has a Mac now, but it's just still so fat.
I know. It's so bizarre to me. And, yeah. So, they're not coming up with really any good, real, solid results because, I mean, first of all, the internet was still pretty new back then. Second, how do you research the first on anything? Like, how do you look up the first on internet? It's like looking up John Smith on the internet.
Loving Anya's glasses, though. But
yeah, but since when?
Right, since when? Are they reading glasses? Do demons' eyes get bad over time?
Right. I mean, I guess at this point...
Are you hanging out? You need to leave. Like, you need to stop hanging out with this group.
Right. But I guess at this... Okay, so this point, Anya is now fully human, so...
So I guess her eyes are getting bad.
She's been alive for, like, hundreds of years, so at some point, I mean, it's got to take its toll.
And speaking of taking its toll, poor Andrew is knocked the fuck out.
Like, how long has it been? Like, he's just been...
I can't tell if he's playing, like, if he's pretending to be unconscious, so they leave him alone.
Leave him alone, which I will buy. I will.
I will too. Until
respect.
Dawn slapped the shit out of him, and he didn't even flinch.
No. And Buffy calls her off, and she's like, well, Anya gets to hit him.
Right? And then the first time that Buffy just nonchalantly passes out in this episode happens here, and she sees Joyce. This is so messed up on so many levels. Like, it's rude of the first to appear as Joyce because it's just rude. We all know it's rude.
Right.
But for the writers, this makes me wish she was actually there so much.
Yeah.
There's just a flow between the two of them before Buffy's like, wait, what? Huh?
Yeah.
No. Something's wrong. But it's like, I miss Joyce. I miss the presence she had in Buffy's life. And Christine Sutherland looks amazing in this episode.
Yeah, she does. Like, they really...
Perfectly.
Right? Like, she's all, like, ethereal and whatnot. And just, like... And, but, I mean, are we sure that it's the first in these dreams that she's having? Or is it, like...
The first time, I was pretty sure it was the first. The second time, I'm not sure if that was the first or if that... Because we've not, like, we haven't really had too many ghosts on Buffy.
But we know that Buffy does have the potential, does have, like, these visions.
Mm-hmm. The second time is real fucked up. But we'll get to that one.
So this time, she's just kind of, like, remind me, what is she telling Buffy in this first one? It's just, like, going on about, your friends ask too much of you, or is that the second time?
I think that's the second one. This one, she's just like, you look so tired. And she's just, she looks so pretty. She's like, you can't win against this. You just can't. And that's when she's like, huh, what do you mean I can't? No. You're the first. Stop fucking with me. Don't be like this. Be anything else.
Right.
And she's telling her, I don't want to scare you. I'm just telling you these things. And it's at this point where I was a little confused because it's like, you need to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure the first would tell her that she needs to wake up.
Right.
That's not quite threatening.
No, and also even just telling her that she needs to stop. I could see that being something that, Ghost Mom would come back to say to her kid. It's like, you're not going to win this thing. And, and for the most part, like, she kind of doesn't win. Like, it's just, I mean, it's not, it's not really a clean win for the gang at the end of all this. But, I could see that her mom in the other world, just in the afterlife, coming back to tell her to like just kind of warn her and tell her like, calm the fuck down. I need you to go somewhere else. Like, get out of this danger. Like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it all. Like, I've been watching for months now,
and you're still just in danger.
Just stop it.
And then we get to see our boy Spike. Have you ever been dragged across a floor?
Not that I'm aware of.
Me either. I can't imagine as a grown adult that sensation because he drags him for quite some time.
Yeah. Yeah, I always wonder about that in movies and TV, like when they're actually dragging the actor through. Like, how do you do that? Like, how does that? That's got to be weird. Like, and maybe I've been maybe once or twice. It's probably in some sort of like drunken tussle with friends or whatnot. Like, I feel like if it happened, Zach was involved.
And some kind of alcohol was probably
right. Exactly. So, but not for like a long stretch of land, like probably just like a couple of inches or whatnot.
And that's on dirt. So, like, did they tape something to his back so it's not getting all scratched up? Like, I'm concerned about the stuntman too. Like,
yeah,
who's getting dragged?
It's kind of, it just can't be a pleasant thing.
No.
What's happening? So, Spike is all beat up and scarred up and like they've been cut up with symbols all on him and whatnot. And they're like trying, and the first is Spike at first, and then he switches up to Drusilla. Mm-hmm. And, crazy talk, Drusilla. It's
crazier. Like, it's like off. It's like Drusilla, but not.
See, this is what happens a lot of times. And I don't know if this performance of Drusilla by Juliet is intentional because, it's the first and it's not really Drusilla and why it's a little bit off, or is it just because the actor has been away from the character for so long?
Long.
Right. Because that's how I feel about when, in Hannibal, not the TV show, but the movie, like when Anthony Hopkins comes back, the one, I think it's the Red Dragon, or maybe not, I don't know. Whichever one he comes back with Ed Norton. And it's supposed to be like a prequel to Silence of the Lambs. And that performance of Hannibal Lecter by him is not, it's almost comical. It's like a parody. And I always just feel like, has he just been like away too long? Is he just like forgotten what this is? Or is this something new?
And I think it's down to, like you said, the actual actor, because I feel like Buffy, the first, is slightly off. It's not really quite right.
Right.
But then the mayor and Warren were spot on.
Right.
Like,
right.
They were the mayor and Warren.
Yeah.
And even the master. Like, that dude could play the master until he knows what he's doing.
Right. He understands the assignment every time. Right. And he is here to deliver. But even Jonathan, still spot on, too.
But Drusilla and Sarah, Sarah phoned, sorry anybody out there that likes this season, but in my mind, she checked out a long time ago. Oh, yeah. It's very apparent to me. And I guess it kind of works for the character as well and for the storyline that's going, but, absolutely, I see, Sarah just I'm so over this. She hit a wall. Watching this now, it's ooh. She hit a wall at some point and was like, yeah, I'm not here. I'm just going through the motions. Yep. Even her facial expressions don't really change. She just doesn't feel, and that's why I think her version of the first is a little wonky. Yeah. And then you got Tom Lenk over here giving it 1,000%. He's putting in his line. I know. I love him so much. So Dawn and Anya are now trying violence to just wake up Andrew. They keep tossing water all on him and stuff. And they're like, oh, maybe we can try hot water. And they go off to go get hot water. But before they can do that, Buffy shows up and Andrew wakes up. And, it's just a cute little moment where they're both like, nothing. They both kind of sit down. What were you doing? Nothing. Look who's awake. We didn't do anything to him. Silly Andrew, why are you all wet? Drooled all over yourself. Oh my goodness. So he takes them to the seal of Danzibar. Danzig. Danzig. I think it's Denzilthar. So it's also just kind of jacked up because when they get into the basement of the school, when they get to the seal,
they're all looking at it, and Andrew, you can tell like he feels kind of feels some kind of way about what he did to Jonathan down there, and even Xander's like, you killed your best friend, like,
yeah,
and so he's like, Andrew is dealing with that inner turmoil, and he's trying to explain what they were trying to do. He's like, oh, there wasn't enough blood, but then it's like something has happened since the last time he was there. He's like, I didn't do that. I don't know what that is.
It's not me. And then out comes Principal Wood with being all shifty. He's so shifty.
Everybody is shifty. Like they all leave, and then like Buffy and Dawn come across Wood, and he's got a shovel, and I think,
which they also have.
I don't have a shovel, so there's
everybody's got shovels, and instead of just being like, why do you have a shovel? What do we do? They start talking about Buffy's intestinal problems again.
Which, how long has it been since she was out of school? Like, it's only been like a day? Like 2 days? Is it the same day?
Right. Why are we talking about a cream? There's creams involved, and there's just stop talking, Dawn.
Right, exactly. So Buffy thinks he's going to give her, like, the business about being there. Like, oh, I thought you were sick. And then she's just like, there's all this thing. I'm better now. And then they're like, why are you carrying a shovel? And he's like, I found it in the schoolyard or whatever. And Buffy's like, oh, we're down here digging up a time capsule. And everyone's just like, nothing. Maybe.
Right.
I'll see you tomorrow. The kids are really looking forward to seeing you. Okay, so bye. So I think their plan was to cover up the seal, which, okay, like I don't know why that was a good idea, because
they're just gonna.
Right, because clearly, whoever wants it knows it's there, and will just come back and uncover it again.
Uncover it. And where is Spike in the first and everything while this is all going on? Are they hiding in the back?
Are they in the school basement?
That's what I can't remember. Did they move to a different seal and uncovered a different seal? Like, where are they?
Maybe they're somewhere else because they do find the wheel that Spike was on, that they bled him on, so they did all that, and they bled Spike, and as we saw in the last episode, the seal opened up, out came the Uber ramp, and so now they're elsewhere.
Yeah,
I guess.
But it still has to be somewhere in the basement because that's where we end up at the end.
Well,
that's where
also
they all come out anyway.
Right, and because as it was mentioned before, that the walls move.
Right.
Like, so they've got some like secret passageway or something. So yeah, they're hiding somewhere in plain sight.
And while all of that is going on, Willow has decided that she's going to try some magics to try and figure some things out. And it does not go well. Not the best idea.
No, not at all. I mean, not at all. Like almost immediately, it goes sideways. She's putting stuff together. She's just kind of chit-chatting about what she's gonna do. Anya's helping her, assemble things, and then all of a sudden, boom! Just like the big evil shoots out of her mouth, and there's stuff that Anya gets shocked across the room.
And poor Buffy's just like, Willow, I'm so sorry. Willow's like, fuck, I can't. Please don't. I can't do this. Please, I'm so sorry. I would love to help you, but this is not my show. I do not want to help.
I'm just gonna I'll be in this corner over here under this bed, under my covers, just kind of shivering in fear and terror whilst you guys figure this out. This is on y'all.
Mm-mm. And that's when our boy shows up.
Yay! So they open the door and there's Giles hanging out on the front porch. Mm-hmm. And he's got 3 potentials with him.
And it's very obvious that there's a green screen behind that front door, that street is not real, that foliage is not real. It is a matte painting. But also, if this is your first time watching this episode, you will not pick this up. It's not until countless other rewatches that I noticed that he does not touch a thing in this episode.
That is not true. Because he leans on the kitchen counter, palms down on the kitchen counter.
Ooh.
later on. Yeah, I was watching for it this time around.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but we'll get into it at some point. But
We'll get into it.
Yeah. So Giles is here because last time we saw Giles, we weren't sure like what had happened. Like he escaped barely being beheaded by one of the bringers. So now he's back.
He died. He totally died. He totally died.
So his potentials that he has with him are Annabelle, Molly, and fucking Kennedy.
And the sad thing is, you could add a fucking to each one of those names because they all suck.
They all kind of suck.
It just happens that Kennedy sucks the most.
Talk about fake accent. Like the one, Molly, is it?
Annabelle.
Annabelle.
It's Annabelle. Molly actually, I think, is whatever. I think she's Irish or something.
Gotcha.
But it's Annabelle that she sounds like Mary Poppins.
It's grating. It's so
very grating. And she's so proper about everything. Molly, don't pester Mr. Giles.
So I guess the thing is like, these girls knew that they were potential slayers and they've been training with their watchers. Giles explains to the group what happened to the council, that, and what's going on, that that the bringers and stuff are going around killing potential slayers. That's why he brought these girls here, to protect them. And what I find hilarious is that Willow seems most upset about the books and the records being destroyed.
So upset. And she thinks Giles is shifty as hell because for a second, I do think she thinks he may have blown up the council, because she's like, wait, you got all this stuff and then they blew up? Like, he was like, there was not time to talk to them about their protocol. I had to get it out of there.
Giles, there's some things you're leaving out purposefully, I feel. Like, I'm going to need you to be a little more straightforward with us. Come on now, we're family. Mm-hmm. And, while we're doing this whole he's not touching anything, it just so happens Annabelle is the one who has the books and the records and the little bit of stuff that he was able to snatch, and she hands it over. Well, he still goes on talking about the first.
And while he's telling his story, everyone's listening and everyone's engaged, but none more than Andrew, who is tied to the chair. And they're talking about, he's telling them the story about how the council's gone, and he gets so excited, like, they paid with their lives! Which then prompts Buffy to ask if he can be gagged.
Yes.
Every one of poor Andrew's basic human rights are violated in this episode. Like, since when do we we don't treat people this way. You guys are the good guys.
Like, Andrew I wouldn't call him exactly a threat on his own, but I mean, I guess since he's been visited by the first, they don't know what he's going to be talked into, but still, I think the gagging is a bit much. Like, I'll give you tie him to the chair, sure, but just can he please just go ahead and like at least have some sense of humanity left as to where he can contribute to the conversation if he wants to.
And he was so in it too. He was so invested in this whole. He's in it.
But then, like, Anya accuses Giles straight up of blowing up the council. She's like, "You blew it up." He's like, she's like, "See, you get all stuffy and you overreact to things."
I did not. I do think it's funny that while all of this is going on, Buffy still remembered to put that lip gloss on. She's keeping those lips nice and shiny.
That
and for eyeliner as well.
Right, yeah. That's the most impressive that's my level of impressed with Buffy that I am, that she manages to keep tip-top shape, and just like that makeup and hair is always on point through thick and thin, no matter how many apocalypses come through. My girl.
I'm sorry. I don't have time for all that. I don't have time for all that.
It's like like, give me any reason not to like that's. It's more of it's more of an imposition for me to put on any sort of makeup or anything like that.
That's why when you were talking about doing this in the studio, I'm like, but that means I have to put real pants on. I have to put real pants on. I don't like pants anymore.
We accept sweatpants in the Rugged Angel Studios.
I might have to buy some like nice designer sweatpants.
Right? Yeah. It's like I'm gonna up. It's like no, I'm not gonna put on pants that zip up. I'm just gonna up my yoga and sweatpant game.
Yes, these are couture. Now, the one thing, we hate Kennedy. Yeah. And maybe someday we'll tell you all about the time we met her. Didn't help me like her anymore. No. She interrupted my quality time.
But that's neither here nor there. But she does make a good point here where she's like, so we're running away from evil towards the evil, basically. Right. Is what she's saying. So we're
the one talking sense.
We're coming here to the Hellmouth where it lives, and we were that's.
And she even makes a point. I don't know if it's now or if it's a little later, but she's like, "This is the house we're running to. This is the house that's going to keep us safe."
Yeah. Basically, I mean, there are some good points that she makes, but I'm real just like upset with her. Like, you can't just come into the situation like this. Like, her first words out of her mouth are like, "Oh, this is a slayer." And I'm like, "Oh, this one's got to go." That's what I said. Like, this is my house. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Your name is not Faith Lahane. Let's not get it confused. There is one slayer that can dig in Buffy's butt, and it is not you.
I'm gonna need you to. You better put some respect on that.
Right? You ain't even full blown. You ain't grown up yet.
Right. You are a baby. How dare you? How dare you?
And speaking of that, Andrew is ungagged, and he's asking Xander, so how long have you followed Buffy?
He's like, I don't follow her. She's my friend. He's like, she seems like a good leader. Her hair is so shiny. Does she make you stab things?
Because he wants to join up. He needs a new plan.
How long have you followed Buffy? That it's like looking for a new leader.
And then Kennedy makes some bold
assumptions and advances, and like, you are so aggressive.
So aggressive. And I'm not okay with it.
No, you don't know my situation, first of all. Second, we are fighting for our lives. Now is not the time.
Now is not the time.
Let's just keep it in your pants, Kennedy.
Y'all are just making yourself at home. You're eating my food. Your shit's all over the place. What? Just
the one digging her hand in the cereal box, like, that would have got her kicked out then too. It's like, okay, so we've now kicked out Kennedy for being disrespectful. You for being nasty. Annabelle, you are on thin ice.
You are not my mother. Stop acting like my mother, Annabelle. And Molly, get those socks off your arms.
That's not cute. Like, you are not fooling anybody.
It is not cute. So Buffy takes Giles back to the Christmas tree lot because apparently it's near Christmas time now.
Yeah, which,
It doesn't make any sense because Conversations with Dead People told us it was November 12th.
Right.
It really seems like only a couple days have gone by.
Yeah, exactly, because later on, I think Drusilla says something about tomorrow's Christmas Day. Mm-hmm. Unless she's just being kooky and not actually looking at a calendar.
And Buffy does have a cute line where she's like, "It's Christmas? I forgot. When we get back, maybe we should decorate the rubble."
So they're looking for the entrance to the Hellmouth or a cave or something, because the same time, like, this also happened at Christmas time when when the first was fucking with Angel.
Yep.
And and is that the one where it was like all the dead trees were like in one spot or something? Yeah.
Everything above where they were died.
Yeah, so the first has a hard-on for Christmas time.
Yep.
Apparently. That's when they likes the big show then. So they're going through there, and Buffy falls through a hole where some rotted wood was, and Giles doesn't make any...
The size of the hole, it looks like she should have seen that it was like... And Giles is just like... offers no help. He makes looks.
No moves. No moves to help her. Until finally she's just like, you just stay up there. I'll see what's down here. Okay. And what's down there is an Uber vamp.
Yes, and I want to know how long it was walking behind her. Silently walking behind her. Because at one point she turns around and he's literally 2 inches from her face. And he's got like, hey. And there has to be a blooper reel where she just lost it because he was way too close to her.
There's gotta be. So
but I don't know what she expected. Like, did she think? In my mind, as a Slayer, if I put myself in her shoes and I see this, I'm gonna say, not your regular vampire. This is not gonna be easy. I should maybe get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, or at least maybe
his first punch sends her halfway across the cave.
Right, and also, you only brought a steak?
Right.
Like, you were going into this cave and you just brought the steak?
I mean, I don't know about you, but if I were a Slayer, I would have at least 2 steaks on me. A couple knives, some brass knuckles, and
holy
some
water,
garlic pepper spray.
Yeah. But
and some holy water. Yeah, some holy water.
So Buffy tries to stake him and he's like, dumb child. Idiot child. That does nothing for me. Then he picks his, he cleans his teeth with it a little bit. And, they tussle a little bit more. And she's like, oh my God, I made a horrible mistake. And she finally clambers her way out of the hole with it very close behind her. And we get this very strange shot of Giles coming out of nowhere with the sunrise behind him.
Looking all ethereal.
Right, and then the uber vamp, sun still affects the uber vamps. Okay, great. And they get away.
Yeah. She climbed up that wall like I would have. She looked so awkward climbing up that wall. Like her legs were so far apart, and it looked like me. It was not graceful like a Slayer would climb a wall.
Right. And this is the moment where they come back home and, the potentials are still in the kitchen, chowing down on Buffy's food, and, Giles and Buffy are trying to give them the breakdown, and this is where Giles is leaning on the counter.
Okay. I'm very curious as to who's paying the bills around here.
Because ain't nobody working any kind of job to get anything in there, and I'm for certain.
He's leaning up against the wall, too.
Is he? I'm for certain Joyce's insurance, whatever she had, has been long gone by now. It's been 2 years.
I think they even said that at the beginning of season
6.
They spent all of that just...
Yeah, before while Buffy was dead. Before Buffy came back.
Yeah. So who's going grocery shopping?
I don't know how anything gets done. There should be, the state of this house should be just so much more disarray. There should be, somebody should complain about there's no lights on, there's no electricity.
Oh, and it's awfully clean. They kept all of Joyce's tchotchkes and stuff.
Yeah,
and I just don't see anybody dusting.
No, those should be covered with inches of dust.
And they aren't hiring maids to come in.
I don't know how this place is still functioning unless all this falls on poor Dawn.
She's in there. It's a hard knock life. Like us. All I do is clean and fuss.
So one more reason to call child services.
The internet said people, places, and things. What?
Nice.
That's not a real search engine.
Nice.
What is that?
Search. So Buffy decides that she should probably show her face at school and at work, because I know, whatever she's getting paid for this fucking made up minimum wage part-time job is not enough to keep the cable bill going, let alone fucking
or pay for the
else.
equipment on her desk.
Right. So Buffy is like, again, we're trying the Google search. Let's search evil.
I guess this is why there are Slayers and Watchers.
So as Buffy is Googling the manifestation of evil, she decides to spread out her search a little bit. Principal Wood is like, and she just finishes evil in movies. I really love those evil movies. Evil Dead and Blair Witch. I'm like, or Exorcist and Blair Witch. I'm like, you gotta come up with some better examples, Buffy.
Seriously.
And then they get into this little conversation about how, he doesn't think it's a good idea to show kids the evil movies because once you see that kind of evil, you can't unsee it. And she's like, it's not for the kids. I beg your pardon. I wasn't trying to, I wasn't going to wasn't planning a film festival here. Just, they go, and she's like, well, what kind of movies do you like? And he's like, oh, I prefer the whodunits and the mysteries and find it out. And, and there's and he does this wicked smile turned away with his back to her. And this is all just under we're all supposed, this is a big old just flag. Let's hang a lantern on it to the audience. There's something different about Principal Wood.
Yeah.
That we don't know everything about him. He's not telling us the whole story. It's we got it.
We get it. And watching it for the first time, I was just ooh, what is it? What is it about Principal Wood? You gonna tell me? Watching it, rewatching it, I'm like, oh my God. If y'all don't get to the point already.
They take too long, and it's not that good. It's good, but just I don't know, there's some inconsistencies with the way they're trying to set it up, he's evil, and what actually is his secret, and it's just, I don't know.
Where Juliet has decided she's remembered what it's like to be Drusilla.
She has gone full force Drusilla. For real.
Dancing and the swaying and she's having so much fun.
It's you've always loved a good wriggle and giggle and squiggle. What's a squiggle?
What's a squiggle? And this whole time, the Uber vamp is just beating the shit out of him.
So that's his whole purpose. There's just to offer a random punch and a kick to Spike.
Yep.
While Drusilla goes on and on. She's trying to get Spike to come to their side. It's basically the side you're choosing is not going to win. You're being very stubborn, being very stupid. Come on over. You know what this is.
Daddy.
Ring and ring and ring.
Which was a nice callback to when she was that episode of Angel, when her and Drusilla were her and Darla are tearing up the town, and she's like, I'm just ringing all over.
Yes. It's it's your phone. Drusilla doesn't die, right? I know that she's technically dead, but Drusilla doesn't get dusted.
But she's still out there.
Okay, she's still out there doing her thing. Good for you, Drew.
Yeah.
Way to go. Way to survive.
We haven't seen her since she left Sunnydale last season when she came to get Spike.
Right.
And she had that time.
This was after Angel set her on fire.
After Angel set her on fire. Yeah. I don't think we see her again, truthfully.
Right.
I was just thinking of it. It just dawned on me just now. There are those conspiracy theories that Buffy never truly left that mental institution. What if these delusions are cracks in that delusion? And Joyce is talking to her, but she's talking to her in that room. So
Buffy never left the asylum and or the institution, and so therefore Joyce never actually died. And so
right.
These moments where she's seeing her in her dreams or whatnot, this is right. Joyce. Yeah.
And her telling her, these friends of yours, these friends in this delusion are asking too much of you.
Right.
You gotta take care of yourself, fuck, I'm fucking my own head up. This is messed up. I don't like it.
So yeah, I'm gonna stick with that Buffy is still in the institution because, again, that's how it should have ended.
And it makes sense. It all fits.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
If you don't think so.
And so, yeah, and Buffy wakes up on her desk, and poor Roger. You're just like everybody else.
No, I'm down with the kids. I'm hip. I care about your Roger. I know your name. I'm sorry. And that's was she just sitting there staring at him the whole time, or did she actually fall asleep?
Right. That's what I'm wondering. I'm gonna wager to say that she was actually fell asleep. She was full on.
Because the way he was looking at her.
I know it, because he's just Like, she should have waken up to Miss Summers.
Right.
Miss Summers. So back at the house, they're all gathering the, as Xander was not fooling the shit. I boarded that window up. He's not fucking around with you people. Everybody's gathering weapons, and they're just kind of hunkering down and waiting for the attack. But Buffy does not want to give the potentials weapons, even though they've been training at this point.
Right.
Like they're not that green, like they're babies, but they've been like through a training process, and as what's-her-butt Kennedy will make sure to let us know that.
Knows. And poor Andrew's like, shit's gonna get hairy. Can someone please untie me from this chair? Like, this
I love it.
Please.
I know. And he's like, yeah, I know I'm like a super villain, and they're like, And he's like, like Dr. Doom, and he just keeps going on about his redemption story and, this arc of like what he goes and this, and then he's like, I went over to the dark side just to pick up a few things. And the last
redemptive struggle, and these ropes really itch.
That's what sends me. When he's just at the very end, he's like, these ropes itch.
He is the best part of this entire 7th season.
Yes, he is.
He's a jewel. And I love him so much. Now, in the past, I don't necessarily agree with this, let's all wait for sundown and see what happens.
Right.
I tend to more agree with the approach you took in season 5 when you were like, Glory's coming, we need to leave.
Right.
And y'all got in that Winnebago and you left.
Right.
It still didn't work, but
at least the fight was taken to a little more open grounds. Just a little, as opposed to this. And I don't know how come none of her villains, none of the big bads have ever just come there and set the house on fire.
Right.
Just burn it down.
Just burn it down.
As they're all going on about this, and Andrew's trying to get untied, and the kids are trying to get weapons, and Willow's apologizing for not being able to do magic, and it's like, girl, we got it.
It's okay. We don't need you to do that.
Right. It's fine. No, please don't. Annabelle up and leaves.
Didn't take anything. You came there with stuff.
Right. She's just like
legit was like, I'm scared.
And didn't even take like a weapon with her, because there's a point where they get to go through the weapons chest, but she's just like running hands empty down the street.
Which makes no sense, because where she ends up, I don't think is anywhere near where Buffy's house is. Like the downtown freight district is not near Buffy's house. I'm sure Annabelle had to run through downtown first.
Right. Girl, how long was she gone?
Right.
How long was she gone before anybody realized she was? It couldn't have been that long, because, like, seriously, what happens is they're all like, Andrew's trying to plead his case. Buffy and Giles leave the room, and then next thing you know, one of the other girls like, "Hey, Annabelle's gone." Like, and I also have questions about. Questions about that. Like, you were all in the same room. Like, everybody was in the living room. Did Annabelle just, like, poof? Like, she threw a smoke bomb and was like, ooh. And then just disappeared.
Fuck you guys. I'm out. I'm leaving.
Like, nobody tried to stop her at any point?
Leave it open?
Right. Like, there should have been, like, some sort of... They should have heard some sort of, Annabelle, don't. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like, she just...
But no. Like, that would have made my day to just hear her screaming down the street, running down the street just screaming.
Right.
Kind of like that character in Robin Hood Men in Tights in the very beginning that just comes in screaming, tells them something and runs out screaming. That's what I want.
Yes, that would have made all the difference.
But instead she gets murdered quickly.
Yeah, very quickly. The Uber, she like runs basically right to the Uber vamp. He snatches her up by her neck, snaps it, and she's dead-o.
And Buffy comes around the corner, is like, well, fuck.
Oh, Buffy.
She doesn't look upset.
No, she looks put out.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. Like, okay.
And then again, the Uber vamp is like, hey, round 2.
Hi. Yeah, he just comes out of nowhere, just like knocks her over. Like while she's staring at Annabelle's body, he just comes out of nowhere and knocks her straight on her face.
And it's like a cat toy. He's fucking with her. He's not trying to kill her. He's just beating the shit out of her.
Yeah, because he could absolutely just have snapped her neck. Like we saw how quick he works. He can actually work, but no.
He could have killed her 10 ways to Sunday, but he doesn't.
Yeah, he snatches her up by her neck a little bit, and then she spits blood into his mouth,
which is real nasty.
And which is just more kind of like an appetizer for him, which I'm not sure why.
I'm just trying to think of how they filmed it. It's obviously not real blood, but she still spat in that man's mouth.
In his mouth.
That's not sanitary. It better have been CGI spat. Like spittle. I want CGI spittle because the
So then Buffy hobbles off into a construction zone or some sort of empty warehouse or something because, you know, they are very good. Sunnydale always has some place under construction, which...
That's how Xander gets paid.
All right. So she tries her hardest to fight this dude, but she's getting her ass handed to her left and right.
Real bad. It's bad. I don't think I've ever seen her get beat this bad before.
No. Like... I
mean, the closest we could come is maybe when she was fighting Sunday, just because she wasn't ready for it.
Right.
And she took off.
Right.
And she tried to do that here, and Ubervamp was like, ha, no ma'am. I'm going to throw your ass through a wall. You're going through a brick wall.
Oh, yep.
And then for whatever reason, he left. Because the next thing that happens is Xander going, Buffy, and they're trying to wake her up. Because she looks dead.
Oh,
she absolutely looks she looked dead.
Yeah, there is this like really dope fight scene at one point, like where she thinks that she's won a part of the fight, where she drops all the pipes on him, and then she's hobbling out, and then he comes out, like, ha, surprise,
yes,
surprise, motherfucker, and she. And she's like trying to run off, and he just like, and they like speed up the film or whatever, and he just like, you like see him like get on her real fast, and he does the whole like jump, like runs up the wall and like gives her a real roundhouse kick to the face, and he just really fucks her day up, and
really does,
and just leaves,
leaves.
Which why?
He's out. Well, how come? Why didn't you just kill her?
What happened?
Did you not see her under that rubble? Did you think she exploded? Like,
is not the time. Because that's what always gets me on this show. It's like the villains, the big bads, are always like, it's got to be the perfect time to kill the Slayer. I need a specific date, time, and place where I can kill the Slayer.
Looking at you, Spike. In that festival of St. Vigius, I'm looking at you.
Right. Like you could have. It's like it's always got to be all with the pomp and circumstance with you.
Right.
All about the ritual with you, vampires. And so,
back with the Drusilla version of the first, and I love this scene.
Yeah,
I love it so much. His confidence is there, even though he's battered and broken, and
he's all jacked up. He's just like laying there. It's like it looks like he's lost like he's just doesn't give a shit anymore. And first Drew is like, you know, you're only alive because I want you to be alive right now. We still want you to be on this side. And then Spike is like, you'll never have me because she believes in me. And okay. That's sweet.
That's sweet.
Because she believes in me.
But right now, we're not even sure she believes in herself.
Right. And also, she's not too concerned with... I mean, she's got other things going on, but Spike, you've been there for a while, bro.
Yeah.
Like...
I mean, she did say she wanted to rescue you, but she's a little busy.
It's a little down on the to-do list. It's probably like fourth. That
poor girl is sitting in that chair, fucked up. Where is she? And where are they? Because they're talking about her, and she's just like...
Right. She's like in the other room, they're like, I don't know. This does not look good. I don't like our odds at all.
Giles is like, she could be internally bleeding. And Will is like, is she gonna die? I don't know. I really don't. This is bad.
So there's a lot of guessing and wondering, a lot of I don't knows going on. Like nobody knows exactly what's happening right now or what to expect, and rightfully so, because it's like, you know what? They're like, I have never seen her look this bad after a flight.
And I don't know about you, but I've been in the kitchen like flights to Hawaii.
It's like y'all gonna do this without me. I'm gonna.
Yeah. Because Willow very pointedly says, what if she can't? What if she can't? What if she can't beat this? Well, what do you think you guys are going to, like, you're not going to defeat, no, I'm out.
Right. No, it's like, if we don't have Buffy, we have nothing.
We have nothing.
We have absolutely
nothing.
The
world ends.
Right. And you know what? I'm going to go out on a beach. So I'm going to leave y'all to it.
But
y'all do what you want. I'm going to go tie up some loose ends, get my affairs in order.
Right? I'm out. I'm definitely not going to be here. I hear there's a lovely hellmouth in Cleveland. I'll go check that out. No. But Buffy, she does not go quiet into the night, and she won't do it.
She's got a speech!
She's got a speech. And it's the first of many. Maybe that's why she was checked out. They gave her 5 pages of dialogue an episode.
That's it. Just like, it used to just be a bunch of quips. Now I have to do these meaningful monologues. Like, what are these? Every episode, guys? Really?
And I'd be a little upset, too, if all my friends and the people I love are in the other room basically telling me I can't do this.
It's like, girl, she gone. I don't
and
like,
she comes in and she's basically like, no.
I can hear you, first of all. I can hear
you. And second of all, this is going to be hard, but it's going to choke on me.
Right.
It's going to die with me.
I do I do like that. She's like, yes, I am tired. I am beaten. I am broken. But the whole mouth is going to swallow me and it's going to choke on me.
And of course, this is big and everybody's like, yes. Yeah, and still I'd be in the back. Oh, that's great. I got you, girl. I'm right here with you.
Oh, yeah. Go Buffy. Uh-huh.
Yeah. 7:45. Yep. Oh, what? Yep.
Yeah. You are on it. You are. You win. You number one.
You do you. And I like that. I give her credit for being like, I'm done waiting and taking the fight to them. It's like, what fight? How do you fight? Do you see all of this?
You're taking the fight to them. You're sacrificing yourself? Is that what you're saying? Is that because that's what it feels like? That's from what I've seen.
And Willow's just like, this is going to involve me somehow.
Right. It's like, y'all gonna... I told you I don't want to do this magic right now.
I told you I don't want to be part of this. And of course, Giles is just like, that's my Slayer. Look at her go. He's so proud.
It's like, calm down, Giles. So yeah, and that's the ep.
Let's Bring On the Night, which apparently is a police song. I don't know.
What does that have to do with...
What's it have to do with the episode? I don't know. I don't think they've done, I don't know why that was a random trivia note, but it was.
Okay. I'm sure you can say that about a lot of titles on a lot of Buffy episode titles. Right.
I was like, why does this one in particular get noted?
Like, so what does that mean? Was Sting on premise on set that day? Like, what?
But, could you have put the song in the episode? Because you had no other songs. There's no song. It's just a score this week. So we have no song of the week. Man. There were a couple different burns in various ways. The first we just talked about was Buffy's. I'm beyond tired. I'm beyond scared. I'm standing at the mouth of hell, and it's going to swallow me whole, and it'll choke on me. That's more of a burn for the first.
Right, yeah.
And then Xander's, it's a loop, like the mummy hand. I'm doomed to replace these windows for all eternity. Maybe we should just board these things up until things are a little less hellmouthy. That's kind of a poor burn on himself.
Right.
And then the last was the conversation between Buffy and Giles. Giles, this is bad, isn't it? A new kind of bad. And he says, just in time for Christmas. And she says, you know, I didn't even realize it was December. Maybe when we get home, we should decorate the rubble. And that is just a burn on themselves for not even noticing what time of year it is.
It's like, oh, snap. It's December.
We only had one body. Seems kind of
Annabelle.
late for them. Poor Annabelle. Well, you know, fuck Annabelle.
Yeah, you know, she did that to herself. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, why would you run away from everybody?
There's so many of these potentials that I'm just like, I don't care about you. I don't care about you. I don't care about you.
This happens a lot of them. I would say the vast majority of them. Does it pass the Bechdel test-ish? Like, when Kennedy is trying to, like, push up on Willow. Like, when they're talking about the sleeping arrangements and all that stuff. That's
gross. You better not hug the covers. Who said you could sleep in my bed? You're on the floor.
Right. You are extremely not invited. This is real. I don't like this.
See if that conversation happened once all the other potentials come to town and they truly are max for space. When, like, Rachel Bilson is sleeping at Xander's.
Right.
Like, they've spilled over into other accommodations, but there are 3 of you.
Yeah.
We got 2 couches, some chairs, a whole basement.
A whole lot of floor space, too. I'm sure Joyce has plenty of... Yeah, you're good. And, you know, we've got Dawn's room, we've got Buffy's room, we've got Joyce's room. So, like, there's 3 rooms with floors on there. And also, I could have also seen if this had taken place, like, day 2. But you've been here for, like, maybe 24 hours.
Right.
Like, you don't know me.
You don't know me at all. I'm not even sure I know your name. Like,
right. It's like, what the fuck?
No. Random trivia, Buffy's final speech. We talked about how Andrew's going to poke fun at that later. And then the best part I noticed right off when I was watching this week was when Buffy's dreaming and talking to Joyce, Xander can be seen sweeping in the background. However, that broom does not touch the ground. If you go back and watch it, that broom is like 4 inches off the ground. It's obvious, like it's blatantly obvious that he is just poorly.
One, were we afraid? Like, why?
Why?
Nicholas, have you never swept before? Do we not know how brooms work?
He's acting like he's sweeping big piles of rubble, and there's nothing on the floor. It's really bad.
That's jive.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is there's strength in numbers.
Yeah.
Annabelle.
Why would you run out the door? Why? Why would you run out the door?
But we're almost done. I know, we're almost done with the whole series, and that is exciting. That is something that I didn't...
To celebrate.
Yeah, like, we'll figure that out some kind of way, shape, or form to, like, go to knock it out. But also, like, again, and we're always pulling the call out there, if anybody knows Tom Lenk or how to get him on the show, please let us know. Him please. DB Woodside. Woodside!
That is how you're going to remember it for the rest of your life.
Right. That'll be it.
You'll slip out when you meet him.
Oh my God, it's so nice to meet you, DB Woodside! So that'll be that for him, and then like just like the same with me. Like anytime I see Jeremy Sisto, I sing "Turn Away" from Clueless every single time. So be sure to come back and enjoy more episodes with us just for me saying DB's real name properly and in a brand new way, apparently. So next episode is you can let us know what you think about Bring On the Night. You can record an MP3 file, less than 2 minutes, and email it to revisitingsunnydale@gmail.com. We may play it on the air. And then the next episode, as we said, Showtime.
Showtime!
At the Apollo.
Spike would definitely get the cane.
Right, exactly. The next episode is guest starring Steve Harvey. Showtime at the Apollo.